Lee fast. So what I want.
Yeah, what's your stance on the topic?
Yeah, it's Lee.
So you don't have a stance on the topic?
I have Lee. You have Sasuke.
Oh, you have Lee. Okay, cool. So why does Lee win?
Yeah, he's faster than Sasuke.
Okay, why?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go do that.
The Battle of the Rats, bro. Holy shit.
Yo, didn't you used to have Tate as your PvP? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like Tate looks better with the beard and hair. Like, tell me I'm wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he's better when he's bald and shit.
No, dude, this nigga looks like an egghead. Nigga looks like a sexual offender.
He looks washed when like he got like drugged and shit.
All right, so look at scans. It says he's about the same speed as Lee without his weights, and he's referring to Sasuke.
How do you know he's referring to that Lee?
To what Lee?
Why are you laughing? To the Lee you're referring to?
The one that I'm using from the tuning exams?
Obviously.
Yeah, because he's comparing them because they both fought against Gar.
No, that's not what I asked. I said, how do you know he's referring to that same one?
I just explained to you why.
I don't care what I'm following is bought by. Bro, you don't get this YouTube bad at it. Listen, D1, I'm asking you, how do you know it's the same one?
Because that's the only lead that he can be referring to.
Can you show me that?
Yes, I got you.
Okay, so go ahead and prove them. I love that. Nigga retarded.
Bro, you niggas are funny as fuck. Holy shit.
Yo, I'll bet anyone $5 this nigga D1 does not have an insurance provider. For shit.
Okay, so we see here throughout the fight,
I wasn't joking.
A comparison throughout this whole Lee right here, and we literally see the after image with Lee. Literally,
I don't see anything. I asked you the proposition. I asked you to prove was that you previously stated that Lee was the only person that can be possibly referred to in that scan. Can you prove that?
Because after all this evidence that provided sim up is that this is the
evidence you provided was supportive of your previous statement, not the question I asked.
Move on now. Do you want to move on?
I'm not going to move on. So, as I stated previously, can you support the claim and prove the claim that Lee was the only Lee that can possibly be referred to? That was your previous statement. So, unless you want to backtrack on that, you can go and prove that.
You think you refuted it? Did you think
if you think, I do think. I don't think there was anything I had to refute because I don't think that you sufficiently supported that. If you disagree, then you can go to conclusions.
We can move on then. Yeah, we can go to conclusions. Right.
Okay. So, why do you think you won? You can go first.
The reason why I believe that I won is because I believe verbatim that this is the only lead that we see from the story thus far.
You believe?
So the reason for this is that this is the only lead that it can possibly refer to. And then I literally said throughout the evidence, they keep comparing Sasuke to
I'm finna get ratio in chat. Oh no.
Through the fucking evidence that I provided, right? I have a probable argument. You just have a baseless fucking claim. So you just asked me the questions, and I have the consistency that they were referring to this lead, prove why they were referring to this lead in the first place. And you never adequately fucking refuted that. All you kept saying was that prove that it was referring to this suck and said lead. But I already gave evidence to why that is the case. Whereas you don't have any evidence that it could be referring to a different lead. GG.
Okay, so I don't know whether the dorky autistic 5-year-old said GG. I was gonna say, I don't know if you didn't get what I was saying. I'll make this even more clear for you and clear for the stage. Previously, you stated that the reason why their speeds or that his speed was faster because you said that his previous speed was, comparable to another Lee that was stated. I asked you to verify that this is the Lee in reference to the same character that you're using. The evidence you used to support that was just restating another claim that stated that Lee was fighting against his character. But your previous statement was that Lee was the only person ever that could possibly be referred to in that statement, which would require some type of empirical evidence. Like, if you make a claim that, for example, D1 is the only person who has ever crashed his car while debating noodles, I would have to prove that by eliminating any other possibility that there could be another D1, who has no insurance or money for braces, so he has a gap in his tooth. You feel me? That you're the only person ever. I would have to eliminate these other possibilities. This thing right here, this is called induction. You feel me? That's something you have to do. You can't just make that assumption that Lee is the only Lee. If you disagree with that, that's fine. We can move on. But that's just like basic burden of proof, bro. If you make a proposition, especially a proposition, I'm not done speaking. If you make a proposition, especially a proposition
You give your judgment,
right? That requires empirical evidence. You are faced with that empirical evidence.
You give your judgment.
It would be an argument from ignorance for you to assume that the contrary of the proposition is false because the previous statement hasn't been proven. That's my conclusion. So is that easy for you to understand, or are you still slow?
Most of the stuff he said during that conclusion wasn't brought up during the debate.
I don't care. Back to what I was saying. So do you want to move on now?
So, Apollo, you can give judgment on what
yeah, sure. I don't know.
Bro, honestly, I don't even know what happened a while ago. Like,
bro.
I guess, like, basically, let me just get this clear. So, D1, your initial statement was that Lee's comparable to its other character, which would direct to scale him above. Let's see. Which character again? Archi? Oh, yeah, Sasuke. Yeah. So, I guess he asked you what's the argument for Lee, or what's the evidence which demonstrates that the Lee that you're saying scales to this particular person, which would indirectly scale him above the character that Archie's taken. What's the argument that this is a specific Lee that's being talked about in this debate, or that's being referenced in this debate? And what he basically did, presumably at least, I guess you said, what did you even say again? Oh yeah, you try to argue some shit like, holy shit, I'm like eating, so I'm like a bit distracted. I think he said something like basically, like he basically just showed why it's credible or something. Like, you didn't really, like, what was your response to that specific question that Archie proposed? I'm not really sure.
Oh my fucking god! So what Archie did was just say, prove that they're referring to the lead that's the character that I'm using, and I said that I brought a consistency argument where my argument holds more validity than his. I brought up several evidence that shows, and it's consistent
evidence
referring to the said lead that I'm fucking using throughout the whole.
Yeah. So what was the consistency argument?
Yeah, that throughout the tuning exams they keep comparing fucking Sasuke to this Lee, and then I literally I literally sent the scan like Lee being camouflaged background with Sasuke literally using fucking Lee taijutsu, and there's a statement made by Guy.
Yo, retard, is that what I asked?
From the same tuning exam.
Is that what I asked?
So that's what I'm utilizing for the argument.
Is that what I asked, dummy?
Mm-hmm. So I think what happened here, Archie, is that he was basically just saying that the Sasuke.
What happened is he didn't answer my question. Yes or no? Can you prove
so you guys are debating tuning exams Lee versus tuning exam Sasuke, right, Archie?
Facts.
Yeah. Okay, so he was then saying that Sasuke. Wait, you appealed to a statement, right? D1, like a statement where Sasuke was basically being compared to like basically, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah, two statements.
Yeah, so basically what did you extrapolate from that particular data pool?
You asking me? Would I respond?
No, not him. Not you. I'm asking him.
Okay,
I already said that this fucking Lee keeps being compared to this Sasuke, so it's consistent throughout the whole tuning exams. And then I literally show Lee.
You haven't shown that though. You haven't proven that.
I did. Dummy. I did. I showed it in scans. Go look. You didn't
though, retard.
I literally showed it in scans.
So what statement shows me that that's the exact same Lee that's referring to? Don't say you told me. I want to see
my argument. Apollo, is he going to allow me?
So wait. So if the character that D1 is taking is just CE Lee, right? If that's the character that D1 is taking,
yeah,
right. And the statement,
yeah, but there could be different. There could be different characters called CE Lee as well.
Oh, you're saying that there could be different versions of CE Lee?
I'm saying there could be. But his proposition and his statement was that there's only one Lee in there. Completely only one Lee.
He asked me why.
So I told him if there's going to be completely only one Lee, objectively only one Lee, he needs to prove that statement. Is that unreasonable to ask?
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
You don't know? It's not unreasonable to ask someone to prove their proposition?
Apollo, yeah, I don't know. Ask James Drummond.
Apollo, that's where the
James Drummond
came in. That's where the powerful argument came in.
Is it unreasonable to ask you to prove your proposition?
Wait, hold on. Wait, guys, pause for a moment. Give me one moment. Let me just make my point real quick. Okay. I was just gonna say, D1. So I guess he's just trying to invoke the possibility of basically there being multiple versions of CE Lee, and he's just then trying to push for the idea of the skeptical objection, which is, why is it the case that the CE Lee that is being referenced in the statement that you basically sent in scans is the same exact version of CE Lee that you're referring to in this particular debate? So I take it that you're going to want to say that there's one version of CE Lee by eliminating the possibilities that he's trying to present. So how do you eliminate those possibilities?
Yeah, I already said I brought up a probable argument that is consistent that they were.
Why did this nigga ducks my baby picture,
Why would
bro?
Why would you bring up a probable argument when you're trying to confirm a necessary statement?
Yeah, Apollo, I'm not going to debate here if he's just going to keep cutting
Yeah,
me
that's
off.
fine. You don't have
Wait,
to debate,
wait,
but I was
wait,
gonna
wait.
ask
So,
the
Dion, what are you
question.
saying?
That's fine. I was
Okay, shut the fuck up, you stupid ass, faggot ass bitch who suck on dick every fucking day like the fucking cum sucking faggot you are, and you swallow.
Yeah, I didn't mute Archie, by the way. But what were you saying, D1?
Anyways, yeah, so
Someone unmute him.
argument.
I can't bother to do it on my device. I'm on mobile.
Yeah, so I have evidence, right, that's leading to this said lead that I'm referring
so
to.
I was gonna
His argument is just baseless, and he's just saying there's a
back to my
possibility that it
previous.
could be referring
Also,
to
could you give me
another lead.
VC or perms
But I
one? If I
show
perm abuse
evidence
D1,
why
you
he's
can strip
referring
me.
to this
The
said
audit
lead,
log's there.
and I gave
But I
several
was gonna
arguments
say,
towards that. And I
so
also
you
said that
stated you're
argument that
gonna
there's a
use a
leak in the
probable
background.
statement
I'm just
to
gonna
prove
listen to
that.
both of
Could
you
I
guys at the
ask
same
you?
time. You guys fine with that? You guys fine with that?
Oh no, I'm just done. You're doing this on purpose, Apollo. You just want activity. This shit is gay, and I don't. And you say you a competent debater.
Okay,
Me
how
telling
about
you to
this? How
respect
about
you.
this? You guys
No,
agree
you
with me being the
no,
judge, right? So the moderator?
no, because you're being weird. I don't.
I'm gonna move up Archie. Wait, so if you agree with me being the moderator, or if both of you guys grant me to be the moderator, then I'll just moderate this as the way it should be moderated. You fine with that?
Okay, so now that I have VC perms for whatever faggot is muting me, I
Just
was gonna
move down
say.
D1.
Actually, matter of fact, hold on. Let me check audit log.
D1 was perfect.
Oh yeah, that's D1. Can you please remove D1's perms if we're gonna participate with the debate? If that's a reasonable thing to ask, because assumingly you would have
Jitter
one
can
debater
do
have
that. Jitter
perms
can
over
deal with
another.
that. But I'm saying that. But I'm saying,
D1 left.
D1
That's cool. So that's a concession. That nigga can get that ass banned. Back to what I was saying. Anyone else want to debate? That's your best debater over there, guys. Best Naruto debater.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Apollo versus Archie Part 2 would be good. I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't mind it.
That would be interesting. What topic you want to
How
debate?
you feel? It's up to you. How you feel?